All right, let's talk a little politics. Just a couple days till the off-year election on Tuesday. We've got Miranda Devine, Ace New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor, and Caitlin Sinclair, political commentator. We got some sound from your favorite mayoral candidate. No, wait a second. It's his father, Mahmoud Mamdani, at the Asia Society a couple years ago. Take a listen to this one. You're going to love this, Miranda. This is for you.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration.
Just fabulous. You just have to love that. Do we have one more? Do we have the other one? Radical comment. Anyway, he's tying Abraham Lincoln to Nazis. His mother, Mamdani's mother, says he's not an American.
No.
He's some combination. I don't want to tread on any groups, but Uganda, India, but no. Even my mother, who didn't like me, never said I was un-American. And the other one that we have, let me see. Oh yeah, the Gaza Tribunal Group. Oh yeah, and he has trouble with his family tree. He doesn't know his aunt from his cousin, yes, or where she was living in Tanzania, or whether she was hidden in a New York subway. I mean, I'm making fun of this. He's gonna win. Curtis is dead. I'm sorry. The Trump people are not helping him. He didn't help with the Trump people. And I mean, I don't believe that Cuomo can win. So it's serious business, unfortunately.
It is. And the betting markets have got Mamdani at 94%. And, you know, you walk around New York and it's just astonishing. It's not just young people who are going for Mamdani. And you can sort of understand them being naive and buying his sort of Pied Piper promises. But older people are doing it as well. And so it just is what it is. And we just have to hope that it's not as bad as it could be. But he is obviously just a construction. And his parents have had enormous impact on him. And the fact that both of them are anti-American in every possible way. Yeah. And, you know, he came to this country when he was 7 years old. He didn't even become an American citizen for another 20 years, and only because he had to join the DSA. So
President Trump should have done his birther routine. He used to drive Obama. Remember that?
Yeah.
His birther stuff, he used to drive Obama crazy.
But it didn't work. The problem is it doesn't work. Nothing works. He's like Teflon.
He's going to win. Elise Stefanik is going to be the savior of New York, and she's going to be the next governor. But Caitlin, what about New Jersey? I think that's a brighter outlook, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. The young people in this city versus New Jersey are a bit more awake, not woke, you guys. But I'm really worried about the younger cohort of voters because, Miranda, to your point, naiveness, yes, but what a lot of people are missing is what Mamdani ran was not just a campaign. It was a complete algorithm. He created his entire base on TikTok, targeting those young voters that are scared right now, that are alone, that don't have a job. And he said to them, it's not your fault you can't afford a home. It's not your fault that capitalism is the enemy and failed you. And he promised that he could help them. He offered them hope. But what I'm worried about, and what we all know, is it's not real hope. What he is offering is fake hope and real dependency. And I think the young people in New York City that are going to these colleges and getting indoctrinated, they are buying it. They're buying this aesthetic of hope and not the reality of what's going to happen.
So does that, serious question, Miranda, does that leave, if Mamdani wins, he becomes really the edge of the tip of the sword of the Democratic Party? I mean, in my riff, I was begging President Trump not to do away with the filibuster. And I was saying, but I know the Democrats are crazy. It's become the party of Mamdani and AOC and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and so forth and so on. So do you think that actually, if he is elected, he will become the Democratic poster child?
I think so. And already there are many...
That can't be a good thing.
It's not a good thing for America.
Right.
Because we all suffer when the Democrat Party just cannot... It's the Civil War, as I think even John Fetterman has said himself. And I don't blame young people and young Democrat voters for being disillusioned with the party. They were assured by the old guard that Joe Biden was fine and that everything was going to be hunky-dory and that Donald Trump wouldn't win the election, and they were failed miserably. So they're understandably angry. And Mamdani's cleverly seized on this affordability issue. And
because the other two, Curtis a little bit, but basically the other two, basically the whole rest of the political world didn't do anything about affordability.
No.
It's like they didn't look at a single poll.
they don't even talk about it. And
Republican pollsters will tell you how important it is.
Well, J.D. Vance talked about, when I interviewed him the other day, affordability being his number one concern.
Right.
So that's good. And obviously they're ramping the economy and trying to make that easier, but it doesn't make it easier in New York. And if you are told sweet lies by a candidate like Mamdani with a sweet smile, tells you that he's going to somehow magically freeze rents and then you're going to be able to afford to live here. Impossible. But the other problem with him is he wants sanctuary city. And if anything has driven up the cost of living in New York in a rapid time, it is having all these illegal migrants competing for housing and jobs.
Caitlin, give me a moment, though. Another important event. A big crowd at Ole Miss for Turning Point USA. J.D. Vance came down. Erica was there. A big crowd. I mean, that's so heartening.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie Kirk lives on. I mean, he will.
Absolutely.
Give me a moment, your thinking on that.
It was incredible.
Were you there?
I was not there, but it was so powerful to witness Erica speak to her husband's movement. And if anyone, those evil forces out there that thought that this movement would be stopped by one bullet should be sadly mistaken and realize from what we saw the other night, this movement will live on.
I mean, it was a very big crowd. I mean, these numbers run around, but I saw estimates up to 100,000 people at Ole Miss now.
And it speaks to that lost generation that we're sitting here talking about, right?
Now, that is entirely opposite the craziness of a Mamdani.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? I mean, Charlie Kirk, everything he believed in was to turn that kind of left-wing, crazy-ass socialism away, right?
Absolutely.
Godless socialism, I'm going to put right in it and throw that in there, too. Take us out.
Yeah, I was grateful enough to travel with Charlie last year on a campaign to these college campuses. And I can tell you that what we're seeing here in New York City does not represent the rest of the country, especially for the young men in this country. They want a return to faith as a centerpiece of their family units once again. They want old school values once again, and they're going to fight more than ever.
Good. Great stuff. I got to jump. Sorry, we're out of time. Miranda Devine, Caitlin Sinclair, and the late Charlie Kirk. Wonderful stuff.